Hey everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm Anastasia and today I'm excited to show you how to sew the Mirabella dress, an elegant off-shoulder design with a clean feminine silhouette, a soft shoulder line and a gentle gathering that makes it perfect for every occasion. And the best part, it's really easy to sew, so if you're a beginner, it could be the perfect dress to start with. And of course for this project I will be using Mirabella sewing pattern, which comes with a printable PDF and detailed step-by-step photo instructions. Everything you need to follow along and sew this dress with me. You'll find the link in the description. Before we start, let's take a look at the materials you'll need. A highly stretched medium weight knit fabric, matching thread, 5mm elastic, and a twin needle for finishing the hem and sleeves. Before cutting, pre-shrink your fabric as described in the written instructions. Then lay out the fabric according to the cutting layout. Cut all the pieces and mark the notches on the wrong side with a tailor's chalk or fabric marker. Place the front and back pieces right sides together and pin the side seams matching all notches. Sew the side seams on a 4-thread overlocker from the front piece side, making sure that the left needle stitches exactly along the seam allowance. Leave a thread tail on the end of the seam. Press the side seams, lifting and placing the iron rather than sliding it. This helps avoid stretching the fabric. Here I use tailor's clapper to press the seam allowance towards the back. Fold the sleeve pieces right sides together and pin the side seams matching all notches. Sew the sleeve side seams on an overlocker or on the sewing machine, stitching from the front side of the sleeve. Press the seams flat. Then I use a sleeve board to press the seam allowance toward the back of the sleeve. Turn the sleeves right side out. Insert them into the armholes, right sides together. And pin the edges, matching all notches. Sew the sleeves into the armholes using an overlocker or on the sewing machine if necessary, stitching from the front and back pieces. Press the seams flat. Then press the seam allowances towards the sleeve. Fold the collar pieces right sides together and pin the side seams matching all notches. Sew the side seams on the sewing machine. At this stage I recommend hand basting the collar to the neckline with the right sides of the collar to the wrong side of the dress and doing a fitting to check the garment fit. Press the seams flat. Then press the seam allowances toward the back collar piece. Cut the elastic to the required length according to the template and mark the notches using a tailor's chalk or hand basting stitches. Pin the elastic along the side edges of the collar seam allowances on the front collar piece. First matching all notches. Then pin elastic along the entire length. Stitch the elastic to the seam allowances on the sewing machine, using a straight stitch with a stitch length of 3mm. While stitching, stretch the elastic, back stitching in the beginning and the end. And this is a nice gather you get on the right side. Turn the collar right side out and pin the upper edge. First, match all notches. Then pin along the entire length. Insert the collar into the neckline with the right sides of the collar to the wrong side of the dress and pin the collar to the neckline, match in all notches. Stitch the collar to the upper edge of the dress, sewing from the collar side. Backstitch in the beginning and end. Press the seams flat, and then press the seam allowances towards the collar. Along the upper edge of the collar, pin the elastic to the seam allowance on the collar side. Start at the center back, then align the remaining notches. Continue pinning the elastic along the entire edge. And hand baste the elastic to the seam allowance, stretching it as you baste. Attach the elastic to the seam allowance using an overlocker or on the sewing machine if necessary. Stretch the elastic while stitching. At the end of the overlock seam, leave a long thread tail. Using a needle, pull the thread tail to the fabric edge. Tie a knot and trim the excess threads. If you are using a sewing machine, backstitch in the beginning and end of the seam. Turn the dress wrong side out. Along the hemline of the dress and sleeves, draw a guideline on the wrong side at the distance equal to double the seam allowance, which is 4 cm. On the sleeves, clip the seam allowance so that when turning it up, it can be folded in different directions to avoid bulk. Turn the seam allowances up to the marked line and press them on the wrong side. Sew along the hem of the dress and sleeves using a cover stitch machine, stitching 2 cm from the fold, after hand basting the seam allowance in place. If you don't have a cover stitch machine, finish the hem from the right side using an overlocker or a zigzag stitch on a sewing machine. Press the hem of the dress and sleeves. And finish with the final press of the garment. And here it is, our dress is finished. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. You can download the Mirabella sewing pattern from the link in the description. And very soon I will be sharing the Emily dress tutorial, another elegant dress that is just as easy to sew. So don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you soon.